Hi Fude lovers, welcome back to my channel. I'd love for you to subscribe and join me in Fude Wonderland. Rephr sent me some brushes and I'm super excited to share them with you. Thank you so much Rephr for always being so kind and generous. They're releasing 2 products to celebrate their 4-year anniversary and for reaching 100,000 reviews on their website. They said this is a way to thank everyone who supported them. Congratulations Rephr! They've been amazing to work with over the years and deserve all the love and support in the world. One of the brushes is extra special and something I never thought they'd actually release. I remember chatting with them in 2020 and they mentioned that they'd have to come out with Saibikoho brushes for me and collectors because I wanted softer hair. I couldn't be happier that it actually came into fruition. I'm so proud of the brand for doing so, as well as for having excellent customer service and trying their best to keep prices affordable for their customers. The 2 products will be limited in quantities as they are made in small batches by necessity according to the Rephr website. The second is a collection of limited edition eyeshadow brushes with mini and max versions of their 5 best-selling eye brushes. They also noted on their website that they'll try their best to restock in 2024 if they sell out too quickly, but when I asked them, they said this will likely be it unless the demand is enormous. I recommend signing up for early access if you're interested. I'll put the link below so that you can sign up, and I'll also post on my community feed when it's available for purchase. You'll get notified as soon as I post it on my community feed if you click the notification bell and select all. I'll also put the purchase link in the description box when it's available. I'll start with the best thing first, the Saibikoho cheek brush. It comes in a Polonia wooden box like Koyudo's, has a beautiful red and black band, and white washi wrapping paper. Washi is handmade Japanese paper made out of the fibers of the paper mulberry plant. The extra touches with the band and washi paper are beautiful. I love that they put so much thought into the packaging. It says Kumano Fude on the top with Rephr on the bottom. The box is quite long because the brush has a long handle based on the promotional image I saw on their website. Here we go! Wow, there's even black washi paper on the inside. There's also a lot of shredded black paper like Koyudo's shredded white paper. The brush is nicely cushioned this way. There's a lot more paper in this box than any of Koyudo's recent boxes. The black matches Rephr's aesthetic. The shape is flat with a pinched oval ferrule. I measured the ferrule, handle, and head since there aren't any specs available at the moment. The handle is about 3.25 inches or 82.55 millimeters. The combined ferrule and handle length is 5 inches or 127 millimeters. The hair is about 39 millimeters long. I don't have the exact specs for the flat Koyudo Saibikoho cheek brush with the Sakura Makie handle, but the hair length for that one is 38 millimeters. Both the ferrule and handle are matte. I thought they would be glossy like Koyudo's since it looks glossy in the promotional image. The matte matches with the rest of their brushes. There are silver or white micro shimmers on the handle. The handle feels lightweight, which is also similar to Koyudo's Echizen lacquered handles. Rephr says it's made out of sakura wood. It doesn't feel delicate or fragile like the Koyudo ones. I accidentally dropped the edge of the bottom of the handle into the marble and it was fine. It could be more of a brush you could use a lot more often and don't have to baby in that aspect. The bottom of the handle is square just like Koyudo's. The Makie design is made up of a cluster of pink sakura with a brown branch and gold powder. I asked if the Makie is printed on because it's so uniform and they said it's not. There is a base of the basic shape that is laid down first, then they paint and sprinkle the colors on top by hand. It's produced with the Makie process, but pink and white aren't traditionally used. The white is the micro shimmers on the handle. The side of the brush has Japan printed on it and the back says Rephr. It's small to medium sized. The head looks quite small because the handle is so long, but the ferrule is wide, so I think it'll cover a good amount of surface area. Plus, it'll splay out during use since the hair is fine and flexible. The hair feels soft, but the back of my hands are currently extremely dry, which makes them even more sensitive. Please take what I say with a grain of salt and keep in mind that I have sensitive skin. I'm a goat person through and through, which makes me extra picky with the hair type. I'm spoiled by my oldest, highest tier Chinese Saibikoho hair. I've gone through many brushes over the years as a collector, and this is 2023 Saibikoho hair. The hair does feel a little less soft than the highest tier Chinese Saibikoho called Shou, but so do the brushes from Shou and Zuvmor's green and black Onyx lines. Rephr said it is the best hair possible at the moment. I think they really tried their best to get the best hair, and it is impressive for the price. It will most likely feel extremely soft if you're new to Fude or don't have sensitive skin. I think the older Kumano Saibikoho is softer, but this shares the same fluffiness overall and airiness on the top portion as the Koyudo Yakusugi blush brush I played with in the past. It's fluffy straight out of the plastic wrap. Koyudo flat cheek Saibikoho brushes tend to be bundled in a way where the heads, especially the top part, are airy and fluffy feeling. The hairs are fine and glossy from the bottom to the tip, and the tips are translucent. Glossy hairs and translucent tips are indicators of high-quality goat hair. They feel well-conditioned and silky. The hairs are also bleached white like Koyudo's. The head didn't shed a single hair until around the 20th time of brushing my finger through it, and even then it only shed one, which is impressive. After that, it shed one more hair. I suspect it is made by Koyudo given all the similarities from the box to the square handles. The hair feels similar to Shou and Zuvmor Saibikoho hair from 2020 to recent 2023 hair, but the Chinese ones feel a tad creamier. Keep in mind that I haven't washed the Rephr yet. The hair on all of them are the regular Saibikoho Shinan type. It's what I label as second-tier Chinese Saibikoho. The fineness is about the same, with some of the Shou heads having finer hairs, but that's due to batch variations. The glossiness is also the same. The 2020 and 2021 Shou and Zuvmor brushes are less bleached and more yellow. The brushes with more yellow heads are these three and these three. All of the Chinese brushes were in brush guards or plastic wrap. Here it is with the LL03 on the left, LL02 on the left, with the 2020 F03 on the left, with the Zuvmor Black Onyx number 4 on the right, with the Zuvmor Black Onyx number 3 on the right, with the Zuvmor Black Onyx number 5 on the right. Lastly, I have a 2023 F03 on the right. It's brand new and came out of a brush guard. The closest brush I have is this Shou F03 backup I got this year. The hair is more bleached than the older Shou and Zuvmor brushes, but the hair softness, fineness, and glossiness are about the same. The shape is the most similar out of all the brushes, with the Rephr ferrule being wider and the head flatter on the top edges. The first F03 I had was very similar in nature because it was also very airy and fluffy. The brush on the left is my second F03 from 2021, and it's more densely packed. It was in a brush guard, but it's still more densely packed than the first one I had. Back to the comparison with the 2023 F03. I can feel the tips of the Rephr on the back of my hand, and the lingering sensation hurts a bit more than this one. The largest differences between the Rephr and the Chinese brushes are that the Rephr is much airier at the top, so it feels a little bit softer when felt with my fingertips, while all of the Chinese ones are pretty dense. They don't feel that airy except for the F03 and the top of the Zuvmor Black Onyx number 5 when they're not in brush guards. They don't feel nearly as airy. I'll see how it feels on my face after I've washed it. I'll try to post a photo of how it looks and my impression of it after washing it on my community feed and Instagram. I'm expecting it to pick up and apply like the Koyudo Yakusuki Saibikoho blush brush, mainly picking up loose to soft press products and applying lightly. I think if you like soft goat hair, flat blush brushes, airy brushes, or the Shou F03, then you'll most likely like this brush. The biggest gripes I have with it personally are the matte ferrule and handle and the weight of the handle. It would look and feel much more luxurious if the handle were glossy like the lacquered Koyudo handles and if the handle weighed more, but I know the matte finish was intentional to match their brand aesthetic. I'm used to the lightweight handles of Koyudo maki brushes, but this one is very light. I gave them my honest opinion because they asked me what I thought about the brush and they were grateful for the feedback. I'm not sure if it'll knock your socks off if you've been collecting for many years, have other older Saibikoho or Shou and Zuvmor Saibikoho to compare it to, or are used to Koyudo's lacquered handles, but it is still a nice brush for the price overall based on my first impression. I can't disclose the price until it gets released, but I think this is a great way to own a Kumano-made Saibikoho brush at a reasonable price. The Fude prices are getting crazier and crazier, so I'm glad that Rephr thought of their customers and aren't price gouging like some other brands. So if you're asking me if it's worth it to pick it up, then I would say yes. There's no Kumano-made Saibikoho blush brush that is in the same price range. As a point of comparison, the Koyudo Saibikoho Maki blush brush was priced at 50,000 yen excluding sales tax, or about $485 when it was released in 2020. If you don't like the handle, then at least the hair is soft, fluffy, and silky, and you get a piece of Fude luxury. I washed it and it dried very quickly, so I had time to include it in the video. I used Bishoto's Fude Bijin shampoo and it made the hair feel squeaky clean when rinsing it out. It got a little bit softer afterwards. The top portion feels quite soft on my fingertips. Overall, it feels fluffy and very airy, which is what I was expecting. There are some wavy strands and strands with curly tips. There are more wavy strands than curly tips though. I only saw 1 or 2 curly tips. The bottom portion is wavy too. There are some thicker strands with blunt hair tips that I'll pluck out. It shed 2 more hairs post-wash. This top portion right here looks extra soft, even on camera. The waviness is down here. And some of the strands on the side are wavy too, like that one right there. And then I have a curly one up here somewhere. It was dried on a brush tree, but I laid it flat for a little bit right here, and then it kind of flattened on the side. Quite floofy. Third hair coming out post-wash. Here are some brushes for size and shape comparisons. The Chikuhodo T5 and Hakuhodo B110 were in brush guards, but everything else wasn't. The handle is longer than all of the brushes I'm comparing it to. The Rephr will be on the left for all the comparisons. Here it is with the Chikuhodo T5. With the Koyudo P2. With the Koyudo Gray Scroll and Goat Blush Brush. With the Koyudo KS Z03. With the Hakuhodo B110, which is now called the J110. With the Bishoto BSC01 cheek brush. It's the closest in shape to the 2 Koyudo brushes with pinched oval ferrules. I also got the 19, 26, 27, 33, 34, and 35. These are already released and not the limited edition mini and max eyeshadow brushes. The 19 has an oval ferrule with a tapered head. It's similar to the Chikuhodo T5. This ferrule and handle feels more weighted than the Saibikoho blush brush. The T5 is on the right and came out of a brush guard. All the Rephr brushes came out of the plastic wrap. The Rephr is more bleached. The T5 looks denser. My T5 is older though, so I don't know if they reduced the size of the ferrule over the years. I know they did with the T6. Softness-wise, they feel pretty similar, but I haven't washed the Rephr yet. So on the back of my extremely dry hand, it feels kind of prickly, the Rephr. The T5 feels softer, but it's old. The hair fineness looks about the same based on first impression. Since the 19 isn't as soft as the old T5, I think it'll do an excellent job at picking up harder pressed products. The 26 is a tapered pencil brush. It's on the large side. It looks similar to the Chikuhodo T8. Here's a handle length difference. The T8 on the right is old, so the hairs are more yellow, whereas the 26 is more bleached. The Rephr feels decently soft on the back of my hand. And so does the T8. The 27 is a tapered round blending brush. I already had one from before, which is the one on the right, and the head is more rounded. The one on the right is how it looks post-wash, so it's fluffier. Here's the old one. Old one feels pretty soft. New one feels less soft than the older one. But yeah, different hair batch. I think once it fluffs up post-wash, it'll look similar to the one on the right. It reminds me of the Hakuhodo J142, but with a longer hair length. This one doesn't feel as soft on the back of my hand compared to the other two. The 27 is in the middle. The 33 is a flat and tapered large shader brush. I think it's similar to the Hakuhodo J21, but the Rephr website is temporarily closed for the new brush launch, so I can't make any hair length comparisons. It tapers upwards as it gets to the top. The hair batch on this one isn't as soft as the 19 and 26 either. The 34 is a super fine tapered eyeliner brush. Or at least to me it looks like an eyeliner brush. It could be a lip brush or concealer brush for all I know, but I can't access the website right now. It feels like synthetic hair and is soft. This looks similar to the Japanese brush liquid liners that I use, but the head is even thinner. Brush heads as in, it's not a felt tip, it's an actual brush. It'll be great for creating really thin lines. Behold my Sailor Moon eyeliners. I have these 3 versions and love them. They don't smudge on hooded or oily lids and are pretty black. I'm sad that they're discontinued. There's also this Uzu by Flow Fushi liner that has Kumano Fude brush heads. This is also an amazing liner. This one's still for sale. I just want to show you the Sailor Moon ones really quick. I love them. Even after I used both of these up, I still kept the packaging. I'm almost done with this one. Moon Prism Power! Sailor Moon brush tip eyeliner on the right. The base of the 34 is thinner, but the tip of the Sailor Moon one is finer. Here's another brush comparison with the Sailor Moon one on the right. The Sailor Moon one also has a very fine tip. This is the Uzu Eye Opening Liner by Flow Fushi. This one's thicker. Comparing the 3, the Sailor Moon has the finest tip. The 35 is dense and round. I think Rephr labels this as a concealer brush if I remember correctly. Mine is pretty flat on the top, but I think it's similar to the Hakuhodo J214, which has a rounded top. The hair on the 35 feels decently soft, but I probably won't use it on my eyes. The head is dense, but the hairs still have a good amount of flexibility. Here it is with the discontinued tea-dyed Wayne Goss 16 on the right. The Wayne Goss was also modeled after the Hakuhodo brush. The Wayne Goss is old and discontinued, so it's gonna be softer. Actually, they're both quite soft. The 35 is just a tad less soft, I think. I'll have to try it on my face though. It's also similar to the Pola eye color brush, which was also most likely adopted from the Hakuhodo version. The Pola is more densely packed and firmer feeling. The Pola's on the left and it's more bleached than the 35 on the right. The Pola on the left is old and the hair is softer. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye! I pushed down on the head so many times I abused the heck out of it. But it's holding up fine.